Good morning. You're in Southeast Michigan, and you're about to see another one of our videos, our air gun adventure videos. You know, there's a lot of reasons that we think we're good air gunners. Maybe we're accurate. Maybe we've made the longest, farthest destructive critter kill with an air gun. Perhaps you have the cleanest air gun and the cleanest washed pellets. Perhaps you've watched all 49 of our videos to be the best air gunner. I wish that was true. It's not. Maybe you have the most expensive air gun. And those type of things can lead us to believe we're the best air gunner there is. But I thought today, our 50th video, by the way, that we'd just look at something a little different. The foundation underneath who we are. In other words, you've got to be a good person to be a good air gunner. Imagine a plumber or carpenter or electrician. They're just not a great person, but they do their work pretty good. Then I wouldn't consider them one of the best carpenters, plumbers, electricians, if you will. So what is it that causes us to be a good person to begin with? I've had 2 or 3 events come into my life that have helped me. And so I thought I'd share them with you today as I collect my trail cameras. I've got 3 of them. And share some of that past history with you. You know, unfortunately, there's some people out here. I've run into them. They don't, their method of being a good person, a better person, is by disparaging you. You know, if I can make you smaller, that makes me taller. But I think one of the keys I learned was way back when I was in my early 20s in Vietnam. We had just finished one horrible firefight, lasted all night. Battalion of 700 was probably cut in half. My own platoon was at least 1/3 gone. And we had smoking bodies and people out all around our perimeter. And it was one hell of a fight. It was part of what we call the Tet, T-E-T offensive. It was like the July 4th for Vietnamese. And they turned it into quite a July 4th. But in that morning, there was nitrate smoke in the air. We still had plenty of things to do. We had to drag some people back. We had to collect some weapons. We had to look for any sort of notes that might be in the pockets of the Vietnamese that we had shot. See if there was any clues we could pick up about the future of Tet. All of a sudden, a runner came in to me from our battalion commander, and he said, General Westmoreland. Now, if you don't know that name, he was in charge of the whole country. He was the top general in Vietnam. He was coming. He was coming to see us. I still get a little choked up when I think about it. Our colonel did something I had never done in Vietnam, and that was to call us into a battalion formation. So here in the middle of this big circle, leaving a few people out in the farthest foxholes, we lined up in platoons in front of, and in companies in front of the colonel. 3 helicopters showed up, 2 gunships, and the 3rd one had General Westmoreland. And they began to circle. And they really wanted to just make sure there were still no North Vietnamese in the area. And once they were sure of that, one of those helicopters, the one with General Westmoreland, came in and landed inside of our perimeter. Well, generals always have a captain with them, kind of to be their aide. And they both kind of came trotting towards us, and our battalion commander started to turn towards them. But before he did, he had to bring us all up to a salute, because you salute generals. He said, battalion, and all the company commanders said company, and myself said platoon, and he said Tet, And just as he was about to finish the command, and we all click our heels together, present arms, Westmoreland said, "Stop. I came here to salute these men." And he ratcheted one off to us. He said, "We did a great job that day. Oh, we lost a lot of people. But he came to salute us." And so the tip I learned as a young man was how important that no matter how high up you are, praise the other guy, salute him, make that a part of your life. You know, these trail cameras really do help with the hunting experience. But the heart of them is the SD card in them. And they all kind of come with a small SD card. And that's the brains. But they're not really that great. Do you go out and buy a really good SD card, like 100, 200, 500 memory units in them? That's when these get really good. Kind of nice if they can send you the pictures with the cell phone, to your cell phone like this one here does. I think another great story that happened to me, I was maybe 35, and I was working my way back from Toledo, Ohio into Michigan, and I wanted to get home by midnight. I hadn't eaten. It was around 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, and I pulled into a McDonald's. Oh, it was raining like crazy. I did a drive-through. Back in those days, that's when they had the golden arches and they had some number in them, like 100 million sold, 200 million sold. That sign seemed to change every week as McDonald's sold more and more. I pulled back out onto the highway and continued my ride home. I was listening to a talk show. I remember it was out of Philadelphia. The talk show host had a guest in his studio by the name of Ray Kroc, K-R-O-C. That name may mean nothing to you, but he was in the paper regularly back then. He was the founder of McDonald Hamburgers. He later passed away and his wife ran the thing. But he's in there, and the narrator said, "So it looks like you've sold 100 million now. You must make the best hamburger in the world." And Ray Kroc started laughing. He said, I make far from the best hamburger in the world. And I even gulped on that one. I thought, his board of directors isn't going to be very happy with him in the morning. He just told the world that he doesn't make the best hamburger. He said, "No, we could take the elevator down and walk around here in Philadelphia and hit several diners, and we could get a better hamburger. It'd have a bigger tomato, more lettuce, a bigger piece of meat, a higher bun, without walking very far at all, than a McDonald's hamburger." He said, "You know why mine's the best selling?" And I'm listening carefully because I want to hear this part. "How can you not be the best, but be the best selling?" And he said, "Because we make the most consistent hamburger." He said, "If you stick a thermometer in it in California and keep sticking thermometers all the way to New York," he told this narrator in Philadelphia, he said, "you'll find that my hamburgers aren't within 2 degrees of each other. That's all. So that when you bite into it, you can trust not just the taste, because it's uniform, but taste the temperature of it." I thought, gee, as I'm eating my hamburger, pulling out of this McDonald's, he's right. He makes the most consistent hamburger, and that's the #1 most popular hamburger in all of America. Interesting. And it occurred to me that all of us women would love to be more shapely. Men would like to have six-pack abs. Oh, there's 1,000 ways. More education, more this, more that. But the #1 thing is to be consistent. And we have all kinds of forces on us that want us not to be consistent. We have emotions. Some of us going down a hallway, it's like we keep hitting both sides with our emotions, our attitudes, etc. So ever since that day, I thought, well, I don't have great six-pack abs. I don't have this. I don't have that. But I could be consistent if I work at it. And I walk straight down that hallway, no matter how I really feel, because it's important for all those around me who trust when I walk in a room that I'm consistent, that my emotions are within 2 degrees from day to day to day. I think that's a big part of being a great person. You can see from these bird feeders that I need to get them filled again for Paula. She loves the beautiful, colorful birds that come to this site. The last story I'll share with you today is when I just graduated from college. I got my first job, and after a month, I was puzzled about something. I felt good that I had this sheepskin that gave me my supposedly credentials. But I went up to my supervisor and I said, you know, I've read where 80% of the public who got college degrees aren't practicing in those industries. They've got another job. And even I was one of those people. And he said something to me I'll never forget. He said, we didn't hire you because you had a college degree. He said, we hired college graduates because it proves to us that you can work unsupervised. That I can give you a job and I can walk away and I know it'll get done. Because you had a job once of going away for 4 years and doing your own laundry and meals and everything and get through college and all of its rules and all of its regs and come up with a sheepskin. If you can do that, you can work here. And I owned about 25 companies that I started personally in my lifetime, and I remembered that. I didn't always hire college graduates, university graduates, but what I did do was check their history and did my best on referrals. Can this person work unsupervised? And with a good attitude. You let somebody into a company with a bad attitude and man, that turns the whole company sour. A little bit like putting something rotten in with some good food. So work on your work ethic. Can you get a job done even though nobody's watching you? Or are you just in for the time card you punched in and out? And can you work unsupervised? Can you get the job done? That's what counts here in America. And after that, I tried to just be a person who could work unsupervised and get that job done, and it worked for me. Well, I hope those 3 things help you. Just be a little better person, a little better air gunner too. You gotta have that foundation. That happens to be at least part of mine. Now, as you know on these videos, I love a thumbs up. Google loves it more than me. And I loved your comments. I personally answer them. I enjoy answering your comment. And I love it when you subscribe. Oh my goodness, we have 4,300 this morning. We're getting 35 new subscribers a day. Thank you very much. And people are starting to call me. I'm not interested in having any sponsor or anybody tell me how to tell you what's good and bad out there. But it's nice to know that some people have recognized these numbers we're getting. Remember, all of this makes all of us in this together to be airgun sharp.